Hello and welcome to my second Black Library spoiler-free book review, this time covering Honourbound, a Savina Raine novel by Rachel Harrison. When you hear that this is a novel that is centred around an Imperial Guard commissar, your immediate thought is it would involve a lot of
on charges of assault, you are sentenced to death!
However, this novel is not about that, rather its focus is on drugs and witches. Now the plot itself is focused on a crusade to free the Bale Stars from a chaos cult called the Sighted. Savina Raine is a commissar and she has to lead without fear, but in her head she's still coming to terms with the demise of her sister and the growing sense that something dark is happening behind the scenes of the crusade. The main cast comprises of Savina Raine, a commissar who leads her troops through the fighting to defeat the Sighted and their cavalcade of witches and madmen, Wyack, a soldier addicted to stim, who will do anything to maintain the supply of the drug while his body slowly collapses around him. Lydia Zane, a psycho who's tormented by a pair of birds who try and persuade her to join the forces of chaos, and because she's a psycho she's distrusted by the rest of the Imperial Guard. And Fel, a stormtrooper who is loyal to Raine without a fault. My only real issues with this novel is a couple of the subplots feel somewhat pointless to the main story, and the chapters where Raine reminisces break up the flow of the novel. But these are very minor faults. That and Savina Raine does not shoot as many people as I'd wanted for a point of view commissar novel, as why have a commissar as the main character if you're not going to execute people for no reason other than she can. The lack of any issues I have with the story tells you how much I like this novel, as aside from the lack of executions and some side plots feeling slightly pointless, I adored this novel from beginning to end. It starts with a big action set piece and features many more throughout the novel, but something this novel does better than the other novels is it uses the downtime between the action set pieces to directly advance the mystery element of the plot forward and subsequently develop the characters, rather than the generic Imperial Guard healing and complaining about what happened in the battle before while waiting for the next mission or orc attack to arrive. The mystery element itself is handled well, with its slow build-up and the surprise reveals that keep you guessing until the mystery is finally unravelled through the many different jagged pieces of the puzzle aligning at the very end of the novel. That, and unlike in other Imperial Guard novels such as Cadian Honour, Savina Raine actually drives the plot forward. Things don't happen to her, she makes them happen, as without her the story would be radically different. Unlike in Cadian Honour with Minka Lesk, who's pretty much just a bystander to the events that behold her. The fact that Savina Raine drives the plot forward, combined with the distinctive secondary characters who are key to shaping it, makes it one of my favourite Imperial Guard 40k novels to date. Overall, Honourbound is a novel I heavily recommend to any fan of 40k, as you get a completely fleshed out story with very little downtime between action events, and any downtime is used expertly to push the narrative forward. The only reason not to read it is if you have personally felt a bit worn out due to all the chaos narratives that have been pushed following the opening of the Great Rift. I personally rate it 4.75 double-headed eagles out of 5. It is an action-packed, detailed story that combines with a mystery element that's not the generic X is corrupted by chaos plot, which makes it a truly unique story that is thoroughly enjoyable and an excellent read.